Welcome to reality. You're now on the Code of Mind channel. We haven't even really fully recovered from finding out that the heart is actually right in the middle. All of us knew since childhood, we were taught this in school, and we were 1,000,000% sure that a human's heart is located on the left side, and the stomach is right in the middle. And boom, a brand new Mandela effect just dropped. Whether you've heard about it or not, according to the updated medical atlases and reality maps, the heart is now located right in the middle of the chest cavity, and the stomach has shifted over to the left side under the diaphragm. Just think back. Whenever we got scared or finished running, we always slapped our hand on the left side. We swore oaths pressing our hand to the left side of our chest, and whenever a doctor put a stethoscope to us, they looked for the heart specifically on the left. And suddenly at some point the hologram updates. You open up modern interactive 3D human anatomy models, and there the heart sits neatly right in the center, behind the sternum, washed by the lungs on both sides, and the stomach has moved to the left. From the perspective of the quantum structure of the world and the matrix, this isn't just some hallucination or us sucking at biology. This is a classic glitch in the firmware of reality, where the collective memory of millions of people holds the code of the previous version of the hologram, while the physical layer has already downloaded the new settings. The data in the matrix files got rewritten, and our deep-seated memory stayed the same. And this anatomical shift is just the first warning sign. It was a warm-up to prep our minds for much more global changes in the physics of our bodies. The program is literally dropping hints. The density of matter isn't as set in stone as they made us believe. The rules of the game are changing on the fly, and the parameters of our biological spacesuit are being rewritten. And the very next step of this firmware update hits straight at our perception of our own heartbeat. Right on the heels of the organ shift, a second wave hit us. All over the world, people started noticing the exact same weird thing. We can't hear the beating of our own hearts anymore, or at least barely at all. Think back to how it used to be. You'd lie down to sleep, absolute silence would take over the room, and you could clearly hear your pulse knocking away in your temples, sending vibrations into the pillow, practically rolling as a wave through your entire body. Any physical exertion, any slight bit of anxiety would immediately trigger a heavy hydraulic thumping. It was our constant, basic background confirmation that the system was running and life inside the body was still happening. Now, though, everything has completely flipped. Neither at night nor during the day is that familiar heavy thumping there anymore. The heart has basically gone into silent mode. Furthermore, if checking your pulse on your radial wrist artery or your carotid neck artery used to be zero effort, people are now running into actual physical shock. You put your fingers on the usual spots, press down harder, and you feel nothing. The familiar rigid wave of pressure is just gone. The pulse either feels crazy soft, thready, and surface level, or it feels so rare and deep like the system switched to a totally different step of rhythm. Online forums, social media, and comment sections under videos are completely flooded with posts asking the exact same question. Where did the heartbeat go? Why do I no longer feel the thuds in my chest? People are buying up blood pressure monitors and pulse oximeters just to check if they're even alive. The devices show that blood pressure is normal and oxygen is in the blood, but the physiological sensation of a heavy hydraulic pump inside the chest cage has just vanished. This is not an isolated incident or some local glitch. It's a massive shift in the perception of our own physiology. The dense, heavy vibrational feedback that's been with us since birth was just shut off. Our body stopped vibrating at the low hydraulic frequency of the old world. The program literally stripped this annoying background noise out of our field, shifting the main organ's operations into a completely quiet, autonomous, and mind-invisible mode. Our organism is a high-precision, sensitive bioelectric receiver built right into the overall crystal grid of the Earth and hardwired directly to the carrier frequency of the hologram itself. The planetary system is currently going through a massive, deep recalibration. If we look at dry scientific facts, geophysical stations and space observatories across the globe are tracking non-stop abnormal spikes in the Schumann resonance, the electromagnetic frequency of the space between the Earth's surface and the ionosphere. For many years, this baseline rhythm, which scientists call the heartbeat of the Earth, sat at an ideal stable 7.83 hertz. Our entire biology was adapted specifically to this low frequency, human brain alpha rhythms, blood flow speed, and that heavy hydraulic heartbeat. Lately, however, monitoring charts are literally losing their minds. Hundreds of massive energy spikes have been logged where the charts turn blinding white and frequency jumps to 30, 50, 80, and even blows past 100 hertz. The heart isn't just a mechanical pump. It's the strongest electromagnetic field generator in our body. It's reacting to the shift in the carrier wave. A transition is happening. The heart stops pumping life energy solely through mechanical pressure and shock waves in the blood vessels. It's shifting to a finer, high-frequency silent operation. The physical body isn't breaking down. It's adapting. It's syncing its internal microchip with the new high-voltage rhythm of space to weather the incoming energy stream and keep existing on a qualitatively different layer of reality. Parallel to the silencing of the heart's inner thump, another amazing, purely physiological effect has shown up in our reality, one that thousands of people worldwide are currently testing out en masse. It's a distinct activation of local magnetism right around the forehead, the bridge of the nose, and the third eye zone. If you take a regular metal coin, a small spoon, or any small steel object right now and stick it to the third eye zone, something weird happens. The object literally catches on the skin, locks in, and keeps hanging there even when you tilt or slightly shake your head. Skeptics in the comment sections immediately try to write this phenomenon off as basic physics friction, run-of-the-mill stickiness, skin oils, or sweat surface tension. But anyone who tests this out in practice feels the difference. Sticky skin creates a soft surface drag where an object easily slides off from any movement. Here, totally different physical sensations pop up. You clearly feel as if a targeted dense pulse turns on from inside the central part of your forehead, grabbing and literally vacuuming the metal onto that exact spot. If we look at biophysics facts, human brain tissues, specifically around the ethmoid bone, nasal septum, and the pineal gland itself, contain millions of microscopic crystals of biogenic magnetite. It's a natural mineral built into our biology from birth that acts as an internal compass and navigator in the planet's geomagnetic field. Under conditions where the external magnetic field of the Earth is morphing and the carrier frequency of space is skyrocketing, these dormant microcrystals inside our skull start reorienting and syncing up with each other. The human internal electromagnetic potential is growing, and the biofield around the head centers is getting so dense and focused that its physical manifestation literally starts pulling and holding physical objects onto the surface of the body. This isn't a magic trick, a magic spell, or dirty skin. It's a direct display of how our biological spacesuit is activating dormant tech resources under the influence of new energy streams, turning the organism's hidden potential into a visual, tangible, physical reality. The most important thing to grasp crystal clear through this whole process: stop slapping evaluation labels on yourselves or anyone else. There's a massive amount of content floating around the web right now trying to turn these physiological shifts into either scary medical diagnoses or yet another division splitting people into chosen ones who crossed over and those who supposedly won't. Remember once and for all, this is just another trap for your attention. There are no left behinds. This process is totally all-encompassing and touches every single human on this planet without exception. Literally everyone will cross over. It's just that everyone is rolling through their adaptation at their own speed. Some people are already calmly logging these changes and living in tune with the new parameters, while others are still resisting, running to doctors, looking for anomalies, panicking, and trying to explain what's happening through the old-world templates they're used to. And while they're running around and arguing, memorize this info from me right now. Let's lock in what exact next shift the Matrix is going to download for us real soon. When this starts happening on a mass scale, you'll just remember this moment. The next step is going to touch the very linearity of time. You'll start noticing how numbers on stopwatches and digital clocks skip a second or two, or freeze on an unnaturally long second. Within a single apartment, time for different people will start ticking at different speeds. You'll step out for a couple of minutes, and for someone in the next room, half an hour will have passed. Synchronizing a unified time for everyone is getting harder and harder for the Matrix. Right behind the silence of the heart, the external hearing channel will change. A quiet, clean, high-frequency tone or ringing will set up camp in your head and ears. This isn't a vascular pathology, but the widening of the auditory nerve range, which is starting to pick up finer background oscillations. Familiar city noises or people talking can, for fractions of a second, turn into a digital background noise, stripping bare the virtual skeleton of reality. Where is this going to lead, and what's going to happen to people? This phase will lead to a total rewrite of mindset and memory, wiping out heavy past baggage. Memory will stop holding onto old grudges and childhood traumas. They'll just drop right out of your head, making room for a clean operational workspace, direct knowing. Logic will step aside for pure intuition. You'll instantly know the answer or the outcome of a situation, without building long chains of reasoning. Splitting by state. The difference will start showing clearly between those who trusted the process and immediately squash any negativity around them from the stance of a creator, and those who keep running around in panic, trying to cram the new world back into old boxes. Don't freak out when clocks start messing up seconds and that tone pops up in your ears. Remember my words. This isn't a glitch and it's not a disease. It's just the next level of our body's transformation, through which we finally remember who the real creator of this hologram is. Thank you for being with me on this channel. I wish you the best possible branch of reality. Subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Take care.